Toad Kingdom, Last Stand Episode 1. The harsh fluorescent lights flickered, casting an eerie glow over the sterile hospital room. Luigi's eyes fluttered open, his mind still foggy from unconsciousness. The air was thick with the smell of antiseptic and fear. As Luigi's vision cleared, he became aware of the chaos surrounding him. Toads in medical uniforms rushed past his room, their faces etched with panic. Something was terribly wrong. Luigi tried to sit up, his body protesting with every movement. His head throbbed, and memories of the battle against Bowser flooded back. The last thing he remembered was Mario falling, and then darkness. Panic seized Luigi's heart as he turned his head, searching for his brother. His eyes fell upon the adjacent bed, where Mario lay motionless, hooked up to various machines. The steady beep of the heart monitor was the only reassurance that Mario still clung to life. Luigi's relief was short-lived. The rhythmic beeping suddenly changed, becoming erratic. He watched in horror as the green line on the monitor began to flatten. "No, no, no!" Luigi's voice was hoarse as he called out for help. He stumbled out of bed, his legs weak beneath him, desperate to reach his brother's side. Just as Luigi was about to collapse, small hands grasped his arm, steadying him. He looked down to see Toadette, her pink mushroom cap unmistakable even in the chaos. Her eyes were wide with a mix of fear and determination. "Luigi, we have to go," Toadette urged, her voice barely audible over the cacophony of alarms and shouts. "The hospital's being overrun. We can't help Mario if we don't survive ourselves." Luigi's gaze darted between Mario's still form and Toadette's pleading face. The weight of the decision pressed down on him, threatening to crush his spirit. But deep down, he knew she was right. With a heavy heart, Luigi nodded. Toadette quickly outlined their escape route, her words tumbling out in a rush. They would need to navigate through the maze-like corridors, avoid the infected, and somehow make it to the hospital's underground parking lot. As they prepared to leave, Luigi cast one last glance at Mario. "I'll come back for you, bro," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "I promise." With that, he and Toadette slipped out into the corridor, the door closing softly behind them. The hospital corridor was a scene of nightmares. Overturned gurneys blocked their path, and the walls were smeared with something dark and sinister. Luigi and Toadette moved cautiously, their footsteps echoing in the eerie silence. They had almost reached the stairwell when a low, guttural moan froze them in their tracks. At the end of the hallway, a group of former Koopa Troopas shambled into view, their eyes glowing with an unnatural light. "Run!" Toadette whispered urgently, tugging at Luigi's hand. They sprinted towards the stairwell, the sounds of pursuit growing louder behind them. Luigi's heart pounded in his chest, fear and adrenaline propelling him forward. They burst through the stairwell door, slamming it shut behind them. Luigi braced himself against it as Toadette wedged a broken piece of equipment under the handle. The door shuddered as their pursuers slammed against it, but for now it held. "We need to keep moving," Toadette said, her voice shaky but determined. Luigi nodded, unable to speak. They began their descent, the sounds of their pursuers fading but never quite disappearing. As they reached the ground floor, Luigi's steps faltered. The weight of everything that had happened, Mario's condition, the hospital overrun, their narrow escape, suddenly crashed down upon him. He leaned against the wall, struggling to breathe. Toadette placed a comforting hand on Luigi's arm. "I know it's hard," she said softly, "but we can't give up. Mario needs us. The whole kingdom needs us." Luigi closed his eyes, memories of happier times with Mario flashing through his mind. The laughter, the adventures, the triumphs. He couldn't let that all end here. Slowly he straightened up, a new resolve burning in his eyes. "You're right," Luigi said, his voice steadier now. We're going to find a way to save Mario, and we're going to stop whatever caused this. Together." Toadette nodded, a small smile breaking through her worried expression. They pushed open the door to the parking lot, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The world outside was changed, dangerous, but they had each other and they had hope. As they stepped into the unknown, Luigi's thoughts turned to Princess Daisy. Where was she? Was she safe? He made a silent vow to find her, to save Mario, and to restore peace to their shattered world. Whatever it took, he would not let his loved ones down. The sound of distant groans reached their ears, a reminder of the danger that lurked in every shadow. Luigi and Toadette exchanged a determined look. Their journey was just beginning, and the road ahead would be fraught with peril. But together, they would face whatever came their way.